We're back for another one. Welcome back to the channel. You watch MG Meaningful Garage. All right, so today I want to show you guys the progress on my S4 Turbo 2. Like my last video, I was telling you guys when one project stalls, I'm just going to keep on moving on to the next one so we can get little things done on each project. Hopefully by the summer we can have all of our project cars done. So this is my S4 1987 Turbo 2 RX7. These are rare cars. These cars are really hard to find. They were hard to find back when I bought this car 10 years ago, but now having to find a Turbo 2 in really good condition without the interior being completely gutted, it's like nearly to impossible unless you're paying like around $15,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 now, because RX7 enthusiasts, you know the prices are going through the roof, and to find a clean Turbo 2, you're paying like close to $20,000. I bought this car about 10-12 years ago. I bought it for a killer price. The guy wanted to get rid of the car. He pulled the motor and he put it in his first gen RX7, which was a drag car. So I finished get my Talon rebuilt, and I saw the post, and I drove up to Connecticut to pick up my Talon at RRT, and then I drove back home and I saw the ad and I said, no way he's selling it for that price. So anyway, I ended up driving the same night I drove back from Connecticut. I drove right back up to Massachusetts and stayed up there overnight and picked up this car in the morning. And to do something like that, to drive that many hours in one day, it had to be a killer deal, and it was a killer deal. My plans for this car is to get this back to its former glory days. The exterior is black, and the interior is charcoal gray, which is a nice color, and the rug is charcoal gray. But the thing is, I want this thing to be blacked out, completely black. So my plans are to do a complete interior job, have it stock seats, have it stacked dash, and stock door panels, but I want everything to be transferred and made black, like all this, everything completely black. So I have a lot of plans for this car, with the interior, the cosmetics on the outside, and the motor works. This motor, I found this motor because, like I said, I bought this shell without a motor in it. I found this motor in a running car. The guy had a running car, but the car ended up getting hit or something like that. So this is a Series 5 keg with the top end being, the top portion of the motor is a Series 4. So it's going to work perfectly fine with my car. Because my car is a Series 4. So all the vacuum lines and everything up here is a Series 4. But the keg is a Series 5, which is good because apparently the irons in the S5s are a little stronger than the S4s. They can take a little bit more abuse. When I bought the car, I had the little things done to it. I still have to get a new clutch on this car because I don't trust this clutch. This is the same clutch that was actually on the motor when I bought it. I'm going to be changing the top mount too. I'm going to be going to either a V-mount. I'm going to be customing a V-mount or a front mount. I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm going to go with a V-mount. Turns out I was looking for a turbo kit, went back to the same guy that I bought the motor from and bought his turbo kit. So this turbo kit was actually on this motor already. So these were paired. I just bought them at separate times. He wanted to sell it to me all at once, but I didn't want to fork up that money. Turned out a month later, I ended up buying the damn turbo kit anyways. I am going to get a compression test done on this motor once I bring the FD over to Jim down at JPR. I'm gonna bring the FD down there and get that compression tested and to see if I get the new motor or the rebuilt. I'm leaning towards getting the rebuilt because I think I want to do like one of my subscribers told me to do, get it rebuilt and get a nice little street board in it. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get this motor rebuilt by Jim because he's a master at that, and get it street ported. So that's what we're planning, and we're just lining everything up before we actually bring the car down. But at the same time, when I bring that car down, I want to bring this motor down there just to get it compression tested before I actually put it back in the car, because I want to make sure everything's okay. If I don't have to do any extra, you know, replace corner seal or anything like that, hopefully everything's good so I can just run this motor next summer, run it hard. If anything happens, we'll just get it rebuilt. But I really want to get this car on the road and enjoy these cars, because it doesn't do any good just sitting in your garage looking like a trophy on a shelf or something like that. So this is a Turbonetics Turbo T4 Turbo that he ran in there. I'm definitely going to change this manifold. I'm going to be going with, I think this is the old school. I like this because it's old school, the HKS wastegate. But I think I'm going to go with the dual wastegates off this turbo so it can keep that boost under control with everything. So transmission is under here. Transmission worked good. I am going to get the motor checked, and before I put it in and everything, I'm going to be putting that back in. But cosmetically, this S4 is going to be turned into an S5. The keg, like I said, is an S5. I want to make this look like S5, like my convertible. So what I'm going to do, once I get the engine base stripped down and repaint it, I'm going to drop the motor in. Once I drop the motor in and the car is running okay, I'm going to get the whole car resprayed. I plan on painting it myself. Hopefully, I learned some things along the channel so I can actually paint my own car, because what's the point of having your cars if you're bringing it to everybody all the time and wasting more money? It's good when it comes to mechanical way, but I want my car to look good, but at the same time, I want to learn and show guys out there that want to do it yourself like me, a DIY guy. Why can't we do it? Give it a shot. I mean, if I mess up, the worst thing I could do is mess up. I bring it to a shop, they sand everything down and they repaint it for me. So I'm willing to cross that bridge and paint this car myself. I do have some good friends of mine that are painters, so I can just holler at them so they can give me some tips. So moving on from cosmetically, I'm going to be changing this into a S5. This is all this stuff that I have to change my S4 into S5. So I have all the S5 trim that I'm going to put on the fenders, doors, and rear quarter panels. You have to change that. I have the Savannah S5 lip that I'm going to be putting on the new grill. On the new bumper. And I have two S5 bumpers that I have to choose from. Chances are I am going to use the red one here. The red one has less damage gouges in here. This one has a little gouge, and then it has a little split here. These can easily be fixed, but I rather stay with the ones without the big gouge here. Even though, you know what, that's not even a gouge. That's just plastic damage. Once I decide I'm gonna do that, the other one will be up for sale. So I have the rear bumper. I bought the two red bumpers, the front and the rear, together off a gentleman down South Jersey. He gave me a good deal on that, along with some brakes and everything like that. I have my S5 taillights here. The S5 taillights I found a few years ago. Roughly right now, people are selling for $800 to $1,000. I ended up buying these for $250 years ago. So I beat the rush for RX-7 parts before it started getting a little crazy. So those are the things I accumulated over the years to change my S4, because I always knew I wanted to change the S4 series into a S5. And this is my S5 Turbo 2 mint leather seats that I found online. A gentleman, he was a really nice kid. He was going down to Florida to pick up a bumper from Massachusetts. And after he picked up that bumper, he was heading back to Englishtown, New Jersey for a drift competition. So I told him I was a serious buyer. I would buy the seats. I'll give him what he wants. And he said, you know what, I'm passing your way. Nice guy. He ended up coming into my job. We made the transfer. I gave him the money. He gave me the seats. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't have to do too much for some mint seats. Now, if you look at that, those are hard to find nowadays. Completely unmolested Turbo 2 leather seats. And especially because they're black, because my interior, like I said, I want it to be completely black, and the exterior is going to be completely black. So I want this car to be lean and mean. I want this car to be really nice cosmetically, but I want it to be, when we bring it to the track, it's going to be a killer. I want to be able to put some slicks on it, have some fun at the track, and then throw the street tires back on and enjoy it on the Saturdays or the Sundays. So that's my plans for this car, to have this car up and by the summer, have all my cars up and running by the summer. If you guys have any questions about anybody out there doing conversions from an S4 to S5, hit me up in the comment section. If you want to follow this build and see how this turns out, converting this S4 to S5, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be aware of all the new videos that's coming out. This is a big part of the video, just like all my cars and projects are a big part of the videos that I'm going to be putting out there. But this S4 conversion to S5 is going to be dope, man. My plans and the vision that I have with this car is going to be insane. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you're into RX-7, 13Bs, Rotaries, all that stuff, I have 3 of them, man. There's a lot of work that's going to be done. Follow this channel so you can see exactly what I'm doing to these things, so it can either entertain you or help you get through some of your projects. And if you have any questions or concerns, comment below, hit that subscribe button, and always love and peace.